And good evening, everyone. Welcome to another exciting Saturday Night Wine Stream and another exciting episode of Drink with Rick. I'm Rick. This is episode number 97. And tonight we are going to taste and review a Monastrell from Spain. This should be interesting because we haven't done this for a while, so we're going to do it tonight. It should be very, very interesting. It's one that gets highly rated from what I've seen. We'll see if I like it. Maybe. We'll see. However, if you're joining me just now, welcome to Drink with Rick. This is a stream of consciousness kind of show. I do have some show notes right here. I don't always follow them because this show is not about me. It's somewhat about the wine, but this is really a show about you and me getting together on a Saturday night, kicking back, relaxing, having a good time, and just chilling out, just chilling, just relaxing. Okay, that's what this show is about, and you are part of the show. You actually help drive this show. That's why I don't rely 100% on these show notes, because it's you in the chat that really dictates where this show goes, where we take the discussions tonight. So that's what we're going to do. So I'm glad you're here. I'm glad to have everyone here. Please do not be shy. Please join in. You know, tonight we're going to not only try the wine, we have some nice food to pair it with, but we're also going to do dad joke night too. We're going to do some dad jokes. Everybody share your dad jokes in the chat, and the mods are going to be watching, and we're going to be judging to see the worst and the best dad jokes, and the best and the worst could win a copy of the 500 plus dad jokes book that we've been giving away. Should be a lot of fun. We've had winners before. Hoping we'll have some tonight. We'll see. So let me check the chat here before we go too far down this episode. And CM Cinder's in the chat. It's great to see you, CM Cinder. She says hello and right back at you. Can you hear me okay? Can everybody hear me okay? Because I was on a Skype chat, and I'll talk about that later, but I was on a Skype interview earlier this week, and I had unplugged some things and plugged some things in a little bit differently here in the studio, and it seems like everything... oh, you can hear me fine over there? That's good. I'm glad to hear that. Thank you. I'm glad to read that. Yeah, glad you can hear it. And things didn't seem to be, audio-wise, seemed to be a little bit off after the interview and after I start plugging things back in again. Hopefully it's all right. Hopefully it's back to normal. So, tonight we have this wine to drink. I'm going to show it to you in just a moment. But first, let me tell you where you can watch and where you can chat. Because I missed that earlier. If you're joining me here, you can join me on Facebook. The Facebook page is Drink with Rick. You can join me on Twitch. Twitch is Drink with Rick 1. Drink with Rick, the number 1. You can join me there and live in the chat. You can join me on YouTube. YouTube chat is Drink with Rick. That's the YouTube channel. Drink with Rick, of course. And on Twitter. The Twitter handle is @DrinkWithRick. We're live there, and also on the website at drinkwithrick.com. Now, drinkwithrick.com, we don't actually have a chat going there, but there's a comment box. If you click on the actual post for the live show, for the live feed, there'll be a comment box there, and you can enter your comments, and I'll respond in kind. You know, also the podcast. The podcast goes out every Monday night. Now, this is the live stream version, but we do have the podcast version of the live stream for those who miss it or who like to listen later at their leisure. And you can catch that at drinkwithrick.com, the website that I have there. And you can subscribe to the podcast. Podcast goes out every Monday night, 10 p.m. Eastern time. You can catch it on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, TuneIn, Stitcher Radio, Blueberry.com, iHeartRadio, Deezer, Amazon Music, and the new podcast index, and by email. If you go to the website, Drink with Rick, click on the subscribe link. There'll be a subscribe by email. You just enter your email, and you will get the latest episode of Drink with Rick as soon as it drops right in your inbox every Monday night. So it's all good stuff. So tonight we're going to be drinking, as I said before, a Casa Castillo. This is a 2017 Monastrell. This is a wine from Spain, a Jamila wine from Spain. Before we get into that, Let's see who else is in the chat. Proper Barnstar's in the chat. Barnstar's great to see you. It says, hey, Rick, and CM can hear you fine here too. Oh, great. I'm glad to hear that. I'm really glad to hear that. Hopefully it's not coming over a little over-modulated or crushed audio either. I'm trying to figure out what happened here with my audio this week. It looks okay here, but it's not overly, it's a little different from what it usually is. I'm not going too far into that technically, but it's a little bit different from what it was before. I'm just watching the audio levels on my monitor here, but hopefully, if it's coming over fine, if you can hear me fine, that's a good thing. That's a good thing. I appreciate that. I appreciate the feedback, I really do. And let's see, nothing going on YouTube at the moment. Facebook is kind of quiet at the moment, but people sometimes wander into Facebook a little bit later in the evening, so we'll keep an eye on Facebook and Twitter. I don't know. Twitter is what it is. Whatever that is. Whatever that means. Okay, so let's take a look at this wine that we're going to be drinking tonight. We are going to be drinking, and I'm going to leave it up here on Twitch for the moment. We are going to be drinking this. This is a Casa Castillo. This is a Monastrell. It's 2017 Jamil wine. This is from Spain. And it does get highly rated. Apparently, it's a highly rated wine. I picked this up on a recommendation from my good friends at Winestore in Blakeney, North Carolina. And Barnstar says audio is a little softer than usual. I have my volume on max without headphones, but it's just fine. Well, that's really weird that it would be like that. I'm going to crank the audio up here just a hair. I just don't want to crush the audio. It does seem like it's coming over a little bit softer than usual in my headset as well. So maybe I'm not imagining things. Maybe this is for real. I'm not sure what's going on. I'll have to figure it out after the show, not during the show. During the show is not the time to be messing around and experimenting with things, right? Except maybe the wine. So this, once again, here's the wine. I'm going to show you the back end of the wine, the back label, and I'm going to read the back label for you a little bit. This is an Eric Salmon selection wine. This is from European Cellars, LLC in Charlotte, North Carolina. They're the distributor, the importer here. And Eric Salmon, not to be confused, I have a good friend. His name is Eric Salmon, a good childhood friend. And he's not the same Eric Salmon. Anyway, Casa Castillo Monastrell 2017 Jamil red wine. It's a product of Spain. And a estate bottled by Bodegas Casa Castillo, SL, in Jamil. This is in Spain. And there is 15% alcohol by volume, ABV, in the 750 milliliter bottle of wine. There's some more on the side, but it's basically the same thing with the UPC code, so that I'm not going to worry about that right now. So this is going to be an interesting wine to open and pour and taste, and we're going to do that in just a moment. First, I'm going to show you what we have to pair it with tonight. Tonight we have this that my wife has prepared, my lovely wife Chi. She has some beef burger. I should be okay with this, and a beef summer sausage. Should be an interesting pairing with that, and also the cheddar cheese. This is one of my wife's favorite cheddar cheeses. And also the Trader Joe's double cream Gouda and some crackers to clear the palate with. So we're going to try all that in just a moment. But first, let's go ahead and open up the bottle of wine. Now, to do that, this is what my wife purchased for me for the holidays. And this is I'm just showing it to you right now because I still have to cut the foil with my foil cutter. This is part of the package too. It's all pretty cool. But I want to show you that just in case you hadn't seen it before. There we go. And we got that open. And now, the way this works, I was going to show this to you a second ago. But the way this works is that you pop it over like this. And you place it over the bottle like so. And then grasp it. And then it goes in pretty easy. And then you hold on to it, and look at it, comes out right out. Easy peasy. That's really nice. And then to get the cork out, you do it reverse. But I'm not going to worry about that right now. I'll take care of the cork later. And to dispense it from the bottle, I have my trusty Veneto aerator from the Veneto Wine Lover set, which is, by the way, the whole set is available for $19.99. Includes a lot of different things in the set, but you can also buy this by itself, and I think it's like $12.99 or something, from Amazon. And if you go to my website at drinkwithrick.com, there's a banner up there. You can click on the banner and you can purchase it there, and maybe I'll get a few pennies from Mr. Bezos over at Amazon. Maybe not. I don't know. We'll see. But that would help. That would help support the show and my wine habit, and mostly the expenses on the show, because there are a few, especially giving away free stuff. And of course, support to hold the nectar in for the wine while I'm drinking. We have my trusty Galway genuine Irish crystal glass from Ireland. I'm going to do that again. Give it a little louder one, just in case things are a little bit too soft over there. And Barnstar says, new fancy opener. Yes, it was a gift from my wife. I showed it off during the holidays. We only used it once during the show, because last week the bottle of wine that we opened last week just opened, had a screw cap, which was handy. So we're going to go ahead and pour a little bit of this wine into the glass, just a little bit. And we're going to let it open up and breathe. And while it is opening up, let's learn. Let me put it on one of my Drink with Rick coasters. And while it's opening up, we will learn a little bit more about the wine. So this is what I found out about the wine, looking it up, and it's all over the place here. A lot of it seems to be a rather popular wine. I went to the EuropeanCellars.com website, which they're the distributor in the U.S. for the Casa Castillo, and they're saying, well, they've got a quote from Robert Parker, and if you don't know who Robert Parker is, he is the guy that pretty much invented the rating system, the 100-point rating system that they use for wines. I have talked about him several times in the past on the show. We've mentioned him before and talked about his rating system. But he's got a quote here from Robert Parker on their site saying, considered by many observers to be the finest estate in Jumilla, Casa Castillo is a treasure trove of fabulous values, particularly from the Monastrell or Morvedra grape that loves the chalky terroirs and cool slopes of the Sierra del Molar. Now, what he means by Morvedra, the Monastrell is also known as a Morvedra, vice versa. And we've looked at the Morvedra grape before, and it is a red grape. And Spain, it's not the only grape that's Spanish-born, but it is one of Spain's grapes. And a number of countries make these wines. Anyway, what I see here from this particular wine, they have some tech notes on it, but I didn't download them. I'm looking at wine.com, and they have apparently they have a few ratings on it. There is, Vivino has it, and they have a 3.8 rating on it. And a lot of people, more than 700 ratings for this wine. So they say it's popular among Vivino users. And they also have a note saying it's among the top 7% of all wines in the world. So they have it listed for $14.99 a bottle. I did some checking around. I found it for, let's see, on winesearcher.com. I found it at Market View Liquor in New York for $11.49 a bottle. The Wine Buyer in New Jersey, $12.99. Westchester Wine Warehouse in New York, $14.99. That's where I saw it. But I'll tell you what I paid for it at Winestore. At Winestore, because I have the receipt right here somewhere. I have the receipt right here. Let me see. Yes, I do. I have the receipt right here. It's stuck to a bunch of other receipts. Here it is. Winestore, I paid $9.99 for this bottle of wine. $9.99. So here's a bottle of wine that's going for around $15 a bottle in a lot of other places, $10 to $15. I paid $9.99. So it sounds like I got a pretty good deal on this wine, but I don't know. I haven't tasted it yet. We're going to find out in just a few moments. Before we do, let me check the chat. The chat is kind of quiet on Facebook, and it's kind of quiet on YouTube. It looks like the action's happening here. So kind of quiet all the way around tonight. You know, tonight's been a pretty rough week for everybody. So I think everybody's just a little tensed out, a little I don't know. I'm not going to go into all that, but I will say that that's one reason why I do this. I do this because we need a respite from all the things, all the terrible things that go on in the world. And if we can get together, maybe just for an hour and a half or so, once a week, just to get together and just kick back, relax, forget the worries of the rest of the world, and just relax and talk and have some normalcy of some sort here, then I think that's a good thing. I think it helps everybody. I really do, and I hope it does. I hope it does. So, and it really helps me. It's good therapy for me, whatever I'm doing. So, let me go back to the wine here, and we're going, well, I think somebody's, okay. I just want to make sure I'm not missing anything in the chat. Okay, so, this $15 bottle of wine generally, and it's and I paid about just a penny under $10 for it. I guess it's more than that if you count the tax in North Carolina, which there is plenty of that. So let's go ahead and get a whiff of this wine, see what it smells like. Ooh, well, I'm getting a little bit of. Smells a little bit leathery. It smells a little. Earthy right there, but I'm getting some cherry, mix of fruits there. It does, but it smells kind of earthy. Maybe kind of smokiness. I tell you what, this is kind of a medium-bodied wine. It's a medium-bodied wine. I know that the lights don't do it justice here, but the wine itself, from my standpoint, looks a medium body. It's not, doesn't look too much on the heavy side. Let's give it a taste. Oh yeah, cherry. Right off the bat, tasting some cherry. And a lot of cherry. But I'm getting a little bit of blackberry in there as well. Now, I am tasting a little bit of the earthiness of it. I want to say, no, a little smoky, I'm getting a hint of, I think I'm getting a hint of strawberry on the finish. It has a nice finish to it. But I'll have to say that it's, the alcohol content, it's 15% alcohol, but the alcohol content, you can taste it on this. It seems the alcohol content in here is a little bit high in this. Now, I do think that it is, it's a little fruit forward, but I really think the alcohol really kind of overtakes this, at least on the first taste it does. I don't know that I really like that too much. Yeah, it's the second taste. It has a fairly smooth finish, but you can taste the alcohol. And I don't know that I really like that too much, because I like my wines where, the alcohol's there, and like it always is, but I don't like the alcohol to overtake the other flavors and the other aromas in the wine. I'm not saying that it's bad. It doesn't taste bad, because it's very flavorful. It has a lot of fruit in it, a lot of fruit, and mostly cherry. I was getting a hint of strawberry there for a moment, but I think the amount of alcohol in there kind of overtakes that a little bit. It's kind of medium tannin. The tannins are not too heavy. They're not too light. Kind of on the medium side. And once again, it is a fairly dry wine. There is a little hint of sweetness to it at the in the middle and towards the end, but it's not really, it's not super dry. It's a drink. It's a good drinkable wine, and I can see how it would be popular with some people, especially in the States here. stateside that really like bold wines. This is not a super bold wine, but it's bolder than what it looks like. I mean, this looks like a medium-bodied wine. This does taste a little bolder than that. It would be more towards a heavier wine. So I don't know. It's interesting. Interesting. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go easy on this wine tonight. I think I'm gonna have to go a little easy on it because it tastes it tastes like there's a lot of alcohol in this wine. So for some folks, that's what they like. Me, I like to really taste the wine more than the alcohol. I like a good mix. It's not bad, but it's not something that I'd want to drink too much of by myself, if you know what I mean. Not too much of by myself, but it's okay. It kind of a medium acidity to it. It's okay. Beast on Gaming's in the chat, and Beast on Gaming's great to see you. He says, you know what I think deserves a toast? Saturday. It may well be the best human creation we all take for granted, but Saturday is pretty awesome. You know, I'll agree to that. In fact, you know what, Beast on Gaming, I'll drink to that. I will drink to that. Not too much. You know, I gotta go easy on this wine, but I will drink to that. Here's to Saturday. I do believe Saturday was made for man. I really do. Let's try it with some foods. I'm going to pair it with some foods. This should be fun. And don't forget now, tonight is Dad Joke Night 2. We're going to do some dad jokes, best and worst. So get your dad jokes ready. I have a few of my own. I think we're going to have some fun. Let's see if anyone else is from Facebook is in yet. No one else from Facebook at the moment. So we'll go ahead and do the tasting part, or the pairing part, I should say. And Barnster says, talking to Beast on Gaming, here. Yeah, I agree. I agree with the Saturdays are, I'll tell you what, Saturdays are the best. They really are. I prefer Saturday. It's actually my favorite day of the week, Saturday. Thanksgiving is my favorite holiday of the year, but Saturday is my favorite day of the week. And what's my favorite year? Well, that's still up in the air. Definitely wasn't 2020. In hindsight, actually, we can all say that our hindsight is 2020. Because in 2020 hindsight, I would have called 2020 not a great year. We'll see what happens in 2021, right? All right, so all right, enough of the bad joke. We've got that coming up. Okay, so here we are with this is a hamburger. It's a hamburger steak. This should go pretty decent with a hamburger. Pour a little bit more so I have some in the glass. This is a good hamburger. This one of my wife, she prepared just for this show. I think this is actually a pretty good burger wine. But I think they really need to tone down the alcohol just a little bit. But I think it's a good burger wine. Let me go ahead and clear the palate. I think I'm going to be drinking a lot of water with this tonight. Okay, let's try it with, get a longer shot here. Let's try it with the beef summer sausage. The beef summer sausage. Give that a try. And, all right, pour a little bit more in here. Like I said, I'm trying to go easy with this wine. 15% alcohol. It tastes like there's more alcohol than that in it. Okay. Hey, I like it with this. I'm going to try that again. I like that with the. It's a good pairing with this sausage. Beef sausage. Boy, I'm going to start eating. My son calls this my second meal. I get on the wine stream and I'm going to have my second meal of the night. If this keeps up, it may be. Oh, yeah. I like that. It's a very nice mix. I think In this case, I think the tannin really helps bring out the flavor of the sausage, because the sausage is a little bit on the spicy side. I think the tannin in here brings out that spiciness somewhat. I'm going to clear the palate one more time, and we're going to try it with the cheese. Clear the palate, and let's try it with the creamy cheddar. I don't expect there to be any issue with this. This should be all right. Creamy cheddar cheese. Let's give it a shot here. Let's give it a try. Hey, I like that with the cheddar. Works well. Of course, this is a Monastrell, and Morvedra. I think this would go good with the cheddars anyway. It's good choice. I think I need a little cracker though. Clear the palate for the cheese. Half a cracker. Look at that. Where else can you tune in to a show and sit there and watch somebody eat in front of you? Cooking shows. Wow. This is good. The cracker was good. I like the cracker. All right, let's try it. We haven't started the dad jokes yet. All right, let's try it with the Trader Joe's Double Cream Gouda. And this is, it's Gouda cheese. All right, creamy as ever. Doubly creamy, as always. All right, let me try that one more time, just to be sure. Actually, I was sure the first time, but I just want to try it again because it's here. It's there. I can. Okay. Cheese. Oh yeah. Double cream Gouda wins again. I tell you what. I know. I just want a second piece of cheese with this wine. It was pretty good. I liked it. Let's see. Let's go back to the chat for just a minute. And that Square Guy's in the chat. That Square Guy's great to see you. It's great to see you. I'm glad you're here. Oh, you know what I forgot? You know what I forgot? I forgot the Square Guy. You know what arrived today? My mug, my square mug arrived today, and I was going to set it up here and pour water in it, and I was going to be drinking water out of the mug. And I completely forgot. I left it downstairs because when we get packages in, we always spray it all down for COVID, all that kind of stuff. So I sprayed the package down, and then I meant to come back up, bring the package upstairs after it had dried and everything and wiped down. I completely forgot about it. I'm sorry. I was going to show you. He says, oh, well, next time. Yeah, next time. I'll have to make a point of having it there. I haven't even actually opened the package up yet, and it was there. Does everybody do that? And you spray your packages down when you get them and things like that, or are we just being overly cautious or paranoid? I don't think so. I really don't think so, and it's just a standard protocol we have in our house. Make sure everything's sprayed down and secured before we open it up, just to be sure. Because you never know. You never know. And the Square Guy says you have something to look forward to opening when you finish the stream. Then yes, absolutely. I have many things to look forward when I finish the stream too. Let's see. I've got to go back up in the chat here and catch up a little bit. And Barnstar says it's been freezing and blizzard weather here lately. Being outside is absolutely exhausting during the day, but I've needed to do winter repair and maintenance the last few days. Whoa, so you've been hit pretty hard with some of these storms coming through. Yeah, we were promised some snow here. We didn't, right where we are, we didn't see any. I know that farther up north they got quite a bit, but I was disappointed that we didn't see any snow. I didn't want to be in an ice storm or anything and snowed in with 6-foot drifts or something, but I wanted to see a couple of inches on the ground. That would have been fun. but we didn't even get that. It just rained. It was in, it rained, and that was about it. Barnstar says, but cozying up to a drink with Rick stream by the fire with some wine is the perfect end to a rough first week of the new year. Well, Barnstar, here's to you, and I'm hoping you're having a very, very nice, relaxing Saturday night, curled up in front of the, you got a fireplace there? Good, excellent, with the wine, watching the stream. Now, see, that's perfect, and that's the way we're supposed to be doing this. That's what this is all about. You curl up in front of the fireplace on a nice cold night, open the wine or whatever your favorite libation is, kick back and just watch the stream and relax and chat. That's all. That's what it's all about. Barnstar, you're doing it correctly. You're doing it the right way. Kudos to you. Here's to you, Barnstar. B-Song Gaming says, I did read that. Did I read that? Yes, I did. B-Song Gaming says, I don't understand why some consider Friday or Sunday to be the best day of the week. Sunday, you have off, but you have to worry about waking up bright and early the next morning. Friday, you don't have off, but you've got nothing tomorrow. Saturday is the best of both worlds. There you go. It's the best of both worlds. Yes, absolutely. And Barnstar says, any day that is above freezing here these days is a winner in my book. There you go. And Score Guy says, I agree with B-Sun Gaming. It's Saturdays for me. And, that's true. It's for me, too. And I got a quick story on here. My buddy and I, Jim, I was actually talking to him today on the phone. And we go way, way, way back. We were kids, went to school together. And sometimes I'd go over to his house or something on a Sunday, and we'd be working on somewhere. He's one of my filmmaking buddies, too. And we'd be working on our films or doing other things, related to that, writing scripts and stuff like that. Or sometimes, occasionally, even doing schoolwork. You can believe that. But we go to his house, and we just hang out, and then when it got to be Sunday, towards the evening, just about that twilight time, and it was the same way at home. When I lived at home, it's you'd have dinner, just after twilight time, or it was getting dark on a Sunday night, and you had to go to school the next day. To me, that was kind of like the grossest part of the day. And Jim and I would talk about that. He says, I totally agree with you. And I thought it was just me. But Jim said, no, I agree with you. That's definitely the grossest part of the day. It's like the sun's gone down on a Sunday. You've got to go back to school the next morning. And your mom's calling you to dinner. And you're sitting in your room. And you're like, oh, man, I'm going to go to dinner. And then I'm going to have to maybe watch an hour or so of TV. And then go to bed, and I got school the next day. And it just seemed like that twilight time on Sunday night seemed to be just kind of the most depressing time, for us. But we got through it. But that's why I like Saturdays. I agree with you. That's why I like Saturdays better, because you can get up and it's Sunday the next day, and you don't have to worry about it. You don't have to worry about it, unless you work or go to school on Sunday. But that Square Guy says Barnstar might be onto something. That's I think he is. Barnstar says, thanks, Rick. Cheers, and cheers right back at you. Okay, so he says, save the mug for the coffee stream debut, Rick. Actually, I might do that. We're going to do a coffee stream beginning in February. So, and I'll keep everyone apprised of that. Let me check the other chats here for just a moment before we get into the other fun stuff. And it looks like all the action is going on Twitch tonight. Let me check Twitter. It's kind of quiet on Twitter. I see a couple of my friends are tweeting things. And Wine Enthusiast just tweeted something. Something, I don't know. I'm not, just something about wine. I'm not going to go through that. Let's see. What else is going on here? CM Cinder says, I'm already getting drowsy, so I have to head off now, unfortunately. Oh, well, I'm sorry to hear that. I was hoping you could help me do the dad joke judging here. But if you can't, I understand. There's no problem. Okay, so that brings me to the dad jokes here, right? No, actually, no, it doesn't, because we still have some birthdays to toast. We have a couple of birthdays to toast. No, I only have a couple today. 3. 2 or 3. 2. Okay. So let's go ahead and do that. Let me fill the wine glass up again. We're going to toast a couple of birthdays and a few national days, and we'll get into some dad jokes. Could be fun. So the first birthday that I want to toast, my good friend Gordon Firemark. Gordon, he is the podcast lawyer. He knows a lot about trademark and copyright law, patent law for podcasters. Anyway, Gordon's birthday is today. Now, I know I toasted him was it last week? Yes. And it was a little premature, but it was also because I wanted to give him a shout out and say happy birthday ahead of time. But today is his official birthday, the 9th. And I want to say, Gordon, to you, my friend, happy birthday, and may you have many, many, many more. It's to Gordon. By the way, Gordon, you can clip and use that if you want. Okay? It's okay. I give you permission as the official copyright holder of this show. I give you permission. You can use this clip and post it wherever you want. Okay? Once again, here's to Gordon. Happy birthday. It's Gordon Firemark. He is an attorney in law, and he also has a podcast, and he does some streaming on it, and he has his website. What is it? Firemark. Gordon, if you're in the chat, go ahead and drop your link in the chat, please. And let everybody know about it. And I'll see if I can link to it on the show later. Barnstar says, I nominate Square to fill in to help with the dad joke competition. Okay, you know what? If you're up to it, Square, if you're up to it, sure, you can, if you want to. We got to get more people, though. I'm trying to get more people in the chat here. It's a very quiet night tonight. Getting more people in the chat here to do this. We might not be able to do a competition. We have more people in the chat. So let's see if we can get a few more in here. Maybe somebody will rate us or something on Twitch, and we'll get some people in there and get a really healthy competition going. What else have I got going here? Did I lose audio on? I lost it on Facebook. Facebook is hanging up on me. That's a lot of fun. Let me switch over to Twitch, and so I can hear myself, hear everything going on Twitch. All right, there we go. We're on Twitch. Facebook. Mark Zuckerberg, I think he's not. I don't think he cares 2 cents for me. Anyway, so where was I? Oh, yes, birthdays. We've got one more birthday. This is for my good friend Kathy and Mark Miller. They're good friends of ours. And Kathy, I believe that's her birthday. It's coming up this coming Monday on the 11th. Unless it's Mark's. They might basically, I think it's Kathy's. Kathy's the one who posts a lot of stuff on Facebook, but I don't know if maybe it's Mark's birthday. I think I toasted Mark's birthday before. I know I toasted their anniversary not too long ago. But here's to Kathy Miller, your birthday on the 11th, on Monday. Happy birthday to you, and may you have many, many, many more. By the way, I have a little bit of sad news to report. And I'm serious on this. I'm not joking. Their little dog, Ace, passed away this past weekend, and a couple of days ago, I think. And it was very sad because he was such a sweet little tiny dog. He was just a really little, like a toy poodle. It was like a really tiny little dog, but really cute. And he was very well behaved. And he was just the sweetest little dog ever. And in fact, Tia, my daughter at CM Center, she would babysit for him, or dog sit. Not babysit, dog sit for him. And sometimes when they'd go out of town or something, we'd go over there and check on him or whatever. And but he was just a really, really cute little dog, and just really nice, just really sweet. And he passed away. He was 15, I think. He was 15 years old. But here's to the memory of Ace, the Miller's dog. I know that they were really, really sad because he was definitely a part of their family. So anyway, sad to see Ace go. So let's see. That Square Guy says, "Well, I'm not the best at dad jokes, not being a dad and all." Basically, he says, "But you were a son, so you got that." And he says, "You seem like a pretty darn good future dad in last night's VOD." Okay, so video on demand. So you, I missed that last night, Square Guy. Sorry. And Scott MTHW is in the chat. Good to see you, Scott. Tell me what you're drinking, what you're not drinking, or what you'd like to be drinking, or what you'd like to see me drinking. If I could afford to get a bottle of it, I might try to drink it too. He says, Scott says, sometimes I like mixing red wine with beer. It's sort of refreshing. Ah, that's interesting. Don't they call that a wine cooler? Something like that? Yeah, wine and beer. And then I make wine coolers. No, that's sparkling wine. I'm kidding. But wine and beer mixed. Okay, that's interesting. What kind of wine and what kind of beer? It's red wine, right? What kind of red wine and what kind of beer are you mixing? Is it like with a dark lager or a pilsner or maybe a I don't know, maybe an IPA or something. It's sort of refreshing. I don't think I've ever tried mixing the two. Beast on Gaming says, Rick, random question out of curiosity. Have you ever had to ban people? I can't imagine people deciding to troll here, but there are some bad people out there. Well, that's a good question. That's why we have mods. Although I don't think either of the mods are there right now. I don't know. Talmantio might be popping in shortly. But, and CM Center, I think she just passed out on us there. She was up late and she's going to bed early now. But occasionally, not very often, occasionally, most everyone who watches the stream on most of the platforms, and we have, yes, on occasion we've had, someone on YouTube. And let me check YouTube just to make sure it's quiet on YouTube tonight. I think all the trolls. Even the trolls won't touch me on YouTube. And mostly Facebook, friends and family, and people that like to watch. And generally, it's very rare. I don't know that I've ever had a troll on Facebook. I never have. I have had them occasionally, just occasionally on Twitch. And when that happens, the mods are kind of quick to deal with that. But most of the time, most people are pretty well behaved on Twitch. I think a lot of it has to do with the atmosphere in general. On YouTube, yes, we'll get a troll here and there on YouTube, and it's dealt with when we get them. But for the most part, not really too much. And I think the reason is, once again, it's because I think it's how the show is conducted. People go in, they generally see that I am genuine. I'm not trying to, I'm not trying to put on airs. I'm just being me. I'm just being myself. I'm just trying to be cool with it and invite everybody in. And most people are pretty well behaved in that respect. Occasionally, like I said, we'll get one or two, but they're dealt with, and then that's the end of that. But I don't usually worry about trolls too much for that reason, because primarily I think people, when they come in, they're watching for a while and they realize, oh, okay, this guy's, what you see is what you get. I'm it. What you see is what you get, and I'm not I'm not being pretentious or anything like that. And so I think a lot of them will pretty much leave me alone, I'd say. But yeah, occasionally, every once in a while. And then there are bad people out there that don't care. That's true. But I don't worry about it too much for the most part. I just going here and I'm doing my thing. Doing my thing. Scott says, how do you feel about mimosas? Okay, well, I like mimosas. I'm trying to remember the last time I had one. But yeah, drink it if you got it. That's my philosophy. Drink it if you got it. This is not drink wine with Rick, even though we kind of concentrate on wine. But if you see behind me, there are some beers there too. Let's not drink beer with Rick, and I do like a good beer too. In fact, my son Tommy, we had him on, for that two-parter where he's trying 3 different wines, and the second part where he's trying 3 different beers, and he prefers the beer over the wine, and that's fine. That's fine. I won't disown him for preferring beer over wine. I like a good beer too, but everyone has their preference and their tastes. And some folks get in here and they want to drink some grain alcohol of some sort. And some people have their rum or their vodka or or you can have a mimosa. You can have hot butter rum on a night like this. It's probably not a bad idea to have a hot butter rum. I wouldn't mind having had one myself last night when I was tending the fire when it was 30 degrees outside. That would have been really, really nice. But you drink what you like. That's what you prefer. So nothing wrong with mimosas. I've told stories before about how I've had other things. Jaeger bombs and things like that. In my younger days, I could do some drinking. Not so much anymore, and I've really toned that down a lot. Barnstar says, I'll post some dad jokes tonight from the book tonight, but only in an honorary capacity since I already won. I appreciate it. Scott says, I had a bad mimosa at a Mother's Day brunch made with cheap Champagne Andre. It's like $4 a bottle. I've had... I know what you're talking about, Andre. Nothing like cheap champagne to ruin a good drink, huh? I've never had a hot butter rum, but it sounds delicious. It is. A hot butter rum is really good. There's a couple of recipes. Maybe I'll share a recipe sometime for that. Maybe we'll do if it gets really super cold in January, maybe I'll do one. I'm still sitting here doing this. Hold a second. Let's get back to here. There we go. I've been running that the whole time back there behind me. I didn't realize. Nobody told me. It's okay. Nobody's required to. Let's see. What have I got here for hot butter rum? I'm not doing a hot butter rum right now. But if I were, it would be more like this. I'd be doing that and making hot butter rum. Probably do that, and we do our coffee thing. But by the way, this is what we're drinking tonight. We're drinking a Casa Castillo 2017. This is a Monastrell. Actually, pretty decent wine so far. Not too tannic. It's okay. It works well with the foods that we've tried so far. But what I didn't really, I'm not really crazy about is the alcohol content. It says 15% alcohol, which is fairly high anyway for a wine. But I really think this, and I've mentioned this several times in the past, that just because it says 15% on the bottle doesn't mean it's 15%. It might be, it's usually a lot higher than that. Usually 15.5, 16, maybe a little bit higher for the alcohol content. This says 15%. I can taste the alcohol in this wine. It kind of takes a little bit of the pleasure out of the enjoying the wine for the taste of the wine itself. The cherry and the blackberry and things like that are in. I got a little hint of strawberry, but the alcohol kind of cut that short a little bit. So that to me that kind of takes away from it a little bit. But that's just me. Some people like a lot of alcohol in their wine. That's okay. That's okay with them. Beast on Gaming says, I missed a lot of stuff in here, didn't I? Let's see. Barnstar says, I asked my dad for his best dad joke, and he said, you. Beast on Gaming says, oh dear, we're starting. Beast on Gaming says, my wife told me I had a bad sense of direction, so I packed my bags and right. Yeah, I know. I told that one a few weeks ago, but that's good. That's still good. I like that one. Barnstar says, whoa, hot buttered rum stream. That'd be cool. That'd be cool. Yeah, I'd be warm. Be cool. Let me check on, we had some national days before we really get into this. We had a few national days I wanted to toast. Okay, let's toast the national days real quick. Everybody have something? You can have water if you want. That's fine. Let's toast some national days. Do you know that today, January 29th, for about another next hour, is National Apricot Day? You say apricot or apricot? Some people say apricot. Some people say apricot. Some people don't like them, so they call them yuck. So I like apricots and apricots, whatever. National Apricot Day. Apricot Day. National Balloon Ascension Day is also today. National Balloon Ascension Day. We're going to take off in a balloon. I'm not going to break into song. You know, there's a song on that called "My Beautiful Balloon" or something like that. I know some of the words, but I'm not going to sing them because I don't want to get a copyright strike from YouTube on it. Darn you, YouTube, because they'll do it. Somebody over there will do it. Some bots will do it. National Law Enforcement Appreciation Day. I appreciate law enforcement, and you know, unless they're stopping me on the road. But even then, if I have a good reason to be stopped, I probably should be. National Law Enforcement Appreciation Day. You know what? Our law enforcement officers have taken a huge hit the last couple of years, especially this past year. And I understand. I mean, there are good cops and the bad cops. They're just like there are good winemakers and bad winemakers, and good and bad in everything. There are good nurses and bad nurses. My wife is a nurse, and she's a very good nurse. There are bad nurses out there too, like the nurse that was it a nurse, I think, that left out the batch of COVID-19 vials and the ones that to treat everybody with, and left them out, and they spoiled. And she did it on, I think it was he did it on purpose. He did it on purpose. I mean, I can't imagine people doing evil things. That's just evil. You know, the vaccine. I'm talking about the vaccine, COVID-19 vaccine. And he left the vials. And, you know, some of those vaccines, you got to keep them down to minus 85 or minus 75 degrees. And he left them out on, he said at first that he did it by accident. And then later on, he admitted that he did it on purpose because he wanted them to spoil. He was basically sabotaging the administering of the vaccines. It's just to me that's just evil. That's just horrible. You don't do that. You put people's lives. There's like 500 doses, I think, is what it was. And you're putting people's lives at risk, and it just and I don't care what you think about it, if you're a vaxxer or an anti-vaxxer or whatever. It's just beside the point. It's the thought behind it. It's the action behind it that is really kind of concerning, you know. So that's not good. But where was I going with this? Law Enforcement Appreciation Day. Okay, so whatever side you sit on with the law enforcement, I think we need law enforcement, because I tell you what, I don't want anybody busting down my door and coming in and you know, attacking me or my family or anything like that. You know, I don't want our neighborhood being you know, hit with looters and robbers and thieves and whatever. I don't want anyone, you know, these people are out there risking their lives every day to protect the public for the most part. Yeah, and once again, there are some bad apples. Yeah, sure. There are some good ones too. But do we throw the baby out with the bathwater, that old thing? No, we can't throw the baby out with the bathwater. What's that? Oh, man, I'm quoting songs again. One bad apple doesn't spoil the whole bunch of girls. I'm probably going to get a copyright strike for that. That's a quote. It's a quote from a song, okay? You know where I'm going there. Okay. Law Enforcement Appreciation Day. Love them, hate them, we need them. Static Electricity Day. Static Electricity Day is today. Static electricity. I tell you what, I'm in the middle of getting ready to build my new PC. That was another announcement I was going to mention earlier. Static electricity is my enemy for building new PCs, because static electricity, if you're handling these sensitive computer components and you're building up static electricity on your shoes or anywhere on you and you're touching these things, you can zap it not even know it, and the part could fail on you. So you have to be careful. That's why what I did is, and I used to work in IT, and I used to build PCs for a living. That's what I did for a living for a while. And when I do these PC builds, I'd protect myself from static electrical charges. I'd wear the static wrist strap, and I'd have the mat and all that kind of stuff there to where I was building it in a somewhat clean or static-free environment. And my computers, a lot of people didn't do that with a lot of other system builders didn't do that with their computers. They just slap them together and send them out the door. I did that. I was very careful about it. My return rate and my warranty repair rate on my computers was very low, much less than 5%. It was closer to about 2%. Because and usually if it was the part, it was just because the part itself was defective to begin with, not because of anything I did to build the machines with. But I knew a lot of people that would just sit there and I'm going to build a computer, and they just like put all the parts together and handle everything with their hands and all that, and you can't really do that. You really need to protect yourself from static, because a little bit of static electricity can blow apart real easy. It can blow it. You know, those memory modules in those computers are very, very sensitive, especially, and the processors as well. And you touch something, you really, when you have a static charge, like if you walk across the room, you open a door or something, or touch the door handle, and you get that shock, you know, especially in the winter. When the air is dry, you're going to get that static shock, right? You're walking across the carpet and you touch something, and you get zapped. That is a charge that you feel when it's much, much higher. But by the time you're feeling that static zap, that's much, much higher than the 36 volt. That's not 36 volts. It's like 1600 volts. It's not the voltage. It's the amperage. But you're talking about an excess of easily in excess of 500 or 600 volts. When you're touching computer components, a lot of these computer components are so sensitive that 36 volts will destroy the part. And you're not going to feel that. You're not going to get a static, you pick up a computer part where you're working on it, and you touch a lead there, and you can zap it, you won't even feel it. You don't even know that you're zapping the part, but you could damage the part. So that's why it's really important to have that. And that's what I'll be doing this weekend when I'm putting together my new computer. Static electricity day is not a friend to me when I'm building computers, when I'm building PCs. National Vision Board Day is also today. It's the second Saturday in January. I'm drinking all these together because this alcohol content is so high that I'm just going to drink it all at once. Here's to all those days except Static Electricity Day. January 10th is National Bittersweet Chocolate Day, National Cut Your Energy Costs Day, National Oysters Rockefeller Day. I'm not into oysters, so I'm not going to drink to that. Okay, National Save the Eagles Day. Wow, we got to save the Eagles now? Wow. Who knew that the Eagles were in such dire straits? We haven't started the dad jokes yet. Okay, do you know what I did there? Oh, well, Save the Eagles Day. You mean no more Hotel California? And the Eagles are in dire straits. Well, can you imagine the Eagles and the dire straits getting together again? You imagine what kind of music that would be? Okay, enough of that. Okay, and if you're not into bands from the 70s and 80s, I'm sorry, I can't help you there. National Sunday Supper Day, second Sunday in January is National Sunday Supper Day. All right, I'll drink everything except Oysters Rockefeller Day because I do want to cut my energy costs, and I do want to save the Eagles, all the Eagles, the bald Eagles, and and the band. Okay. And January 11th is National Arkansas Day. They're one of the 50 states. Why not? National Human Trafficking Awareness Day, and I agree. We should be aware of that. And I think most people are not aware of just how serious that is. We need to get rid of that. That should be just, we need to do something to completely outlaw that. Something to completely eliminate that altogether. It's horrible. National Milk Day. National Milk Day. Without milk, we don't have butter, we don't have cheese, we won't have ice cream. And we don't have milk. But National Milk Day. National Step in a Puddle and Splash Your Friends Day. That's January 11th. That's Monday, by the way. So Monday, if you got any puddles, and it's National Step in a Puddle and Splash Your Friends Day. Man, that's mean, isn't it? Probably fun, but mean. National Clean Off Your Desk Day is the second Monday in January. So remember that, National Clean Off Your Desk Day, January 11th. Don't forget that. I'm going to do that on Monday too, if I can remember. I think that does it for the national days. Let's get back to the chat. Enough national days. Let's see. Scott MTHW says, way back in the day, used to do a lot of underage drinking in Tijuana. All you could drink for $5. Wow, all you could drink for $5 in Tijuana. Wow. Those were the days, huh? Yeah, it says, Barnstar says, yeah, cheap champagne can be deadly. Okay, so Barnstar says apricot pronunciation here. So you say apricot, and I say it either way. Sometimes I say apricot, sometimes I say apricot. Well, actually, usually I say apricot. Apricot. I don't even think about it that much. I just say it. B-Sun Gaming says, you hear much more about the few bad cops than the millions of good cops, so cops get a bad rep. That is true. That is true. I've heard so many stories of good cops who have really helped people and saved a lot of lives. And people don't seem to remember those. They only remember the bad ones. They don't remember the good things that people do. But you know what? I guess that should be a lesson to all of us, that to always try to do our best to do good to others, because people are not going to remember you for the many good things you do. They're going to remember you for the one or two not so good things that you do. So I think it's really important to be diligent about always trying to do good things for people, right? I think that's a lesson there for all of us, myself included. So Barnstar says, oh yeah, they all went bad. A sick person, I'm not sure he's referring to. Scott MTHW, sick person. B-Sun Gaming says, what a maniac, he should be sent to prison. Oh, you're talking about the person who took the COVID. I'm trying to catch up here, folks, sorry. It was the COVID-19 vaccine. B-Sun Gaming says, Barnstar says, I'm pro law enforcement, but within reason. Yeah, reason. I agree. B-Sun Gaming says, imagine if this dude was an anti-vaxxer and he was right about all this. The solution was not to do anything and let us figure it out ourselves. He did that out of pure evil. You know, that is a good point. What if all the vaccinations that are happening have an issue, and we do have... I don't think that's the case, really, but what if? Just play what if. Well, once again, as you just said, B-Sun Gaming, even so, you kind of have to give it time and get it sorted out. It's the thought behind it. It's the intent behind it that makes it. Now, people can give out bad vaccines with good intentions and just do a bad vaccine because it doesn't work. That's different, because their intentions are good. They're trying to do the right thing. It's just it isn't happening correctly in that case. But they're trying to do the right thing. That's a completely different scenario, because they're really trying to do something. And as you said, you got to do something. You can't just sit around and do nothing, but doing something positive, even if it doesn't really work, is better than just sitting there and doing nothing. And that's absolutely true. B-Sun Gaming says, I read that. Scott MTHW says, we do need law enforcement, but they
need to do their job and not violate people's rights or act unlawfully, which a lot of them do. Some do. Some don't, some do. And I can understand with that, when you get into a position of power like that, it's sometimes it can be easy to abuse that power. But that's true of everybody. That's true of any position, not just law enforcement, but it's true of any position. I'm not going to go there because that gets political. But Barnstar says, hope your stream is DCMA protected, Rick. I hope so, too. Otherwise, they're going to shut this down real quick. Heck yeah, new computer time, a toast to speedy CPUs. There you go. And it's going to be a little while before I really get that online, but hopefully we'll get that online soon. Barnstar says, the eagles will forever be protected on the endangered banned species list. Beast on Gaming says, step in a puddle and splash your friends day might be my new favorite holiday. Might be mine too. And Joe's in the chat. Joanne is in the chat. I wasn't ignoring you. I'm just, I'm flitting back and forth between the different chats. But Joanne, it's great to see you. Joanne says, drinking a Janata blend by the fire in our backyard. Whoa, that's got to be awesome right there. That's got to be awesome. Joanne says, wish this app would let me post photos of the wine labels. It won't. Oh man, I wish you could. I tell you what you can do, Joe, and I'm glad you're here, by the way. If what you can do is you can email me the photos. If it won't let you, if the app won't let you post the photos, email me a couple of photos and I'll see if I can drop them in there somehow. But it would be great. It'd be great. I'd like to see that. Really would like to see that. That is pretty awesome. That is a nice, and I was mentioning our friends Mark and Kathy Miller. One of the things that they do is they do a, they haven't been able to do it during the pandemic, but they live in our neighborhood, a couple of streets down, and they do house concerts, and they'll have people over to do their house concerts. And Kathy makes jewelry from she hand makes jewelry from guitar strings and stuff and sells them, and she does pretty well with that. But they renovated their whole backyard to do these house concerts, and it's a wonderful. I wish I had pictures to show you here. I don't know, maybe one of these days I can put them up. But they have they have like a little stage, and they have a little pond that goes around the stage, and a little walkway that go to and from the stage where the performers get on and perform. Then everyone else sits around it in lawn chairs and stuff, and it's really cool. Just a really awesome setup. And they have a fire pit going there too. They have like a little fire pit, and they'll have the fire pit going sometimes. And sometimes they don't have anybody there. They'll have the fire pit going. You can sit around by the fire pit and drink wine and have some cheese and just shoot the breeze pretty much. And pretty awesome. I love their backyard. It's just really awesome. Unfortunately, though, they haven't been able to do anything since last March because of the pandemic. But hopefully we'll get through all of this soon, and we'll be back to doing the house concerts. And I'd customarily bring over a bottle of wine for them. And my wife Chi would make some finger foods over to take over for the house concerts. Usually her roasted peanuts that we've had on the show before. We try on the show. Do a lot of fun things. It's awesome. The house concerts are really cool. Let me check YouTube. YouTube's very quiet tonight. Okay, so let's get into some dad jokes. Okay, we've done all this other stuff. Let's get in and do some dad jokes. It's getting late, right? Yeah. Dad jokes. Oh boy. I've got some dad jokes here. All right, so I don't know. CM Cinder went off to bed, so I don't have her to what about Square Guy? Square Guy, you gonna help me judge this? That'd be cool. I'd appreciate that. It'd be great. I would appreciate it. I don't know what happened to Tom Ante. It was probably he's locked into a game somewhere. He's doing some gaming and stuff. Maybe he's doing some streaming on Twitch on his own. Let's see. One more thing I want to mention before we get into the dad jokes. This Tuesday, it was really cool. I want to give a shout out. There's one more person I want to give a shout out to, and that's to Glenn my good friend Glenn the Geek Hebert, Glenn Hebert, and I've mentioned him. We've toasted him on the show in the past. Glenn runs the Horse Radio Network, HRN, the Horse Radio Network. You can look it up, horseradionetwork.com. And they do a bunch of shows. Yeah, could you believe it? There are that many horse lovers that they have a whole network of podcasts and video shows on horses? And they do. Well, they do a show called Horses in the Morning. It's a daily show every morning. It's a daily show, about an hour long or so. And Glenn just called me. Well, he actually messaged me, I think Monday, and he said, I'm looking, I'm looking to do some interviews for my Horses in the Morning show for the week. Would you be interested in coming on and doing an interview and talk about wine? And I said, oh, cool. That sounds like fun. So I got, so we went in and we did the interview. That's why I had to move things around here, why the audio is a little bit wonky tonight with, because I got on and did a Skype interview with him. I did mention to you I was going to talk about that a little bit. Got on Skype and we had a great interview. It was about a 15, 20-minute interview, something like that. And it went out the next day on Horses in the Morning, on their Horses in the Morning show. And we talked about wine. Well, we talked a little bit about the radios and stuff that I do, and the two-way radio show podcast that I do for work, but mostly talked about wine, different kinds of wines, and about the show, about Drink with Rick. And we just had a good time. And, and I want to give a shout out to Glenn, by the way, for inviting me over, because he's a great host, by the way. He's a cool guy, but he's also, and I've known him for the last few years from Podfest. Met him a few years ago at Podfest, but a really cool guy. But he's also a great interviewer. He just has this easygoing, laid-back, method of interviewing people. It's just really cool. And I just felt totally at ease and at home with him right away. And it's just really cool. I had a lot of fun doing an interview with him. But anyway, here's to Glenn the Geek, Glenn Hebert. Here's to you. Thank you. And it was an honor and a pleasure to be on your show this past week. It's to Glenn the Geek. Okay, so let's go into the dad jokes. Now, of course, as you know, we're going to give away a copy, maybe two. I don't know. We'll see how things go in the chat. Joanne, you got some dad jokes? Please put them up. You could win a prize. You could win, put my photos up, 500 plus dad jokes, funny, clean, corny, and just plain silly jokes. I have some copies of this. Actually, I have a copy that's already going out to, who is it? One of the Eds, Ed Panis. And I also have a copy of the calendar that's going out to Barnstar here. I'm just waiting on the calendars just arrived, by the way. I've been waiting for the calendars to arrive. They just arrived. A slow boat from from St. Louis, I think. And that's not the fault of nationaldaycalendar.com. But it's the fault of the USPS, just being the USPS, just being really slower than usual. And from what I hear, it's probably not going to get any better for a while. That's something to look forward to from the post office. Anyway, so the dad jokes book, I've got that, and I've got the nationaldaycalendar.com, so I should be sending those out shortly. I've got to go down to the post office this week and mail them by hand. So hopefully you guys should get them shortly. So I had some, when I was at the Horse Radio Network doing this show, the Horse in the Morning show, I had some jokes lined up. I figured, well, if worse comes to worse, I could tell a few horse jokes. Pulled some horse jokes out of the dad jokes books and things like that. We talked about so much other stuff and we really got into it that I never even got to tell any jokes. So I had them saved up here. I don't know if we're going to be able to tell them here either. I pulled a few jokes. I tell you what, some of the horse jokes that I had lined up. Let me go find them here. Okay. When does a horse talk? When he wants to, right? Okay, yeah, that was bad. I'm probably glad I did not do that one live on their show. That would have been pretty bad. That was pretty bad. Have I lost Joe? Have I lost Joanne? I hope not. She's saying, I'm gonna disown my brother-in-law. Okay, I hope not. Okay, so I've got some other jokes here. Barnstar says, can't wait, I'm utterly lost without a calendar. Oh, wow. That sounds serious. I'm going to have to send it to you right away. Okay, let's see. Based on Gaming says, unfortunately, there aren't too many dad jokes I can make with that material, but I'll do some research. Yeah, the only thing, the only stipulation is that they should be clean. Okay, this is a family-friendly show. I can't do a lot of editing when this thing goes out, so please, let's try to keep them clean, okay? That's all I ask. Honorary dad joke. Barnstar says, honorary dad joke. I told my doctor that I broke my leg in 2 places. He told me to stop going to those places. You know, I think every dad said that to their kid, right? It's the old, because my dad used to do this to me. You know, I'd say, you know, it hurts when I do this. And he goes, well, don't do that. Which makes total sense, but he was trying to be funny. But, you know, when something hurts like that, it doesn't seem too funny at the time. But I pass that along to my kids, you know. My daughter would say, when I press this, it hurts. Well, don't press that. You know, my finger, when I bend my finger, it hurts. Don't bend your finger. Duh. Is there some official, B-Song Game says, is there some official way to participate, or do I just tell jokes in chat? You just tell jokes in chat. Just go right at it. Have at it. And Joe, tell some dad jokes. I wanna hear your dad jokes. Anybody else going in, tell me some dad jokes. So, where were we? Okay, I've got a few lined up here. Okay, what's the difference between a dad joke and a bad joke? Somebody asked, you know, I was talking to my friend Jimmy. He goes, what's the difference between a dad joke and a bad joke? And he says, 1 letter. That's the only difference. 1 letter. And that's not only a joke, but it's true. It's absolutely true. I got some walk into the bar jokes because this is a wine stream, so I figured I'd throw up a bunch of walks into a bar joke. Okay. All right, so a snake walks into a bar, and the bartender says, hey, how'd you do that? Okay, bum. Bad. A horse walks into a bar. The bartender says, hey, and the horse says, how'd you know? All right, okay, that's not any better, is it? All right, a guy walks into a bar carrying jumper cables. The bartender says, hey, dude, don't start anything here. Bum. A skeleton walks into a bar and says, give me a pint and a mop. That one's kind of funny. I like that. A pint and a mop. I'm laughing at my own dad jokes. That's pretty bad. A grasshopper walks into a bar, and the bartender says, we have a drink named after you. And the grasshopper says, you have a drink called Freddy? Think about it for a second. Okay, think about it. 2 chemists walk into a bar. The first chemist says, I'll have a glass of H2O. The second chemist says, I'll have a glass of H2O too. And the second chemist dies. A $5 bill walks into a bar, and the bartender says, hey, this is a singles bar. This is getting worse. It's not getting any better. Okay, I got one. This is a good one. This is a good one. A priest, a rabbi, and have you heard this one? A priest, a rabbi, and a monk walk into a bar. Not monk, not from the TV show. Okay, a priest, a rabbi, and a monk walk into a bar. The bartender says, "What is this? A joke?" I thought that was funny. Okay, that's funny. I don't care who you are. As Larry the Cable Guy says, "That's funny. I don't care who you are." Um, Three fonts walk into a bar. The bartender looks up and says, "We don't serve your type in here." Okay, I know you've heard this one, right? The horse walks into the bar, and the bartender says, "Why the long face?" Okay, everybody's heard that one, right? A man walks into a bar owned by horses. The bartender says, "Why the short face?" Okay. Bartender says, "We don't serve time travelers in here." A time traveler walks into a bar. That takes a second. E flat walks into a bar. The bartender says, "Sorry, we don't serve minors." Wah, 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 yeah. Two dragons walk into a bar. One says to the other, "It's hot in here." The other snaps back, "Shut your mouth." Okay. That's all the bar jokes I got for now. Okay, that's enough. Let's hear what you got. Let's see what you guys have. Let's check in here and see. Joe's very quiet. I think she ran away. I'm like, oh man, this is terrible. My bad dad jokes. Oh, let me go. I got to scroll up a little bit here. Okay. Where am I here? I lost my place here in the chat here. Okay. Beast on Gaming says, "Step in a puddle and splash your friends today might be my new favorite holiday." Yeah, okay, I went too far, didn't I? I didn't. Barnstar says, "Fire pit get-togethers are the best." They are. They really are. Was that a joke? No, that's that. I know you were commenting. Beast on Gaming says, "What do you call a chicken that crosses the road, rolls in mud, and then crosses the road again?" A dirty double crosser. Okay, that's funny. That Square Guy says, "Can I help you judge?" Yes, you can. Please do. Help me judge. Beast on Gaming says, "Can I participate, or are the contestants predetermined?" No, no, of course not. The contestants are not Well, the thing is, if you're going to be a judge, you can't be a contestant. So I guess you could be. If you already won you've already won the book. If you've already won the book, you can be a judge. But you do want to win the book, don't you? Don't you want to win the book? I might send you something else besides the book. So Beast on Game, if you haven't done that, please participate. No, the contestants are not predetermined, unless you're a judge. If you're a judge, you can't be a contestant, obviously. But please participate. If you do, Square Guy says, "If you do compete, I will be extremely disappointed if your favorite game does not get mentioned." Okay, let's see where we are here. I read that one. Beast King, is there some official way to participate, or do I just tell jokes in chat? Yes, you just drop them in the chat. Let's go. Let them fly, as Barnstar says. Let them fly. Beast on Gaming says, "Square Guy, here's your Fallout joke. Preston Garvey kept pestering me about settlement, so I told him, 'Give me a minute, man.'" And Square Guy says, "I know just enough about Fallout to find that funny." I don't know that much about Fallout, but okay. Let's see what else we have. Beast on Gaming says, "A mushroom walks into a club." I think I'm pretty much caught up at this point, right? A mushroom walks into a club. He asks a lady to dance, and she says no. He asks another lady to dance, and she also says no. He approaches a third woman, and he is ignored. Lady after lady, rejected, and eventually the mushroom walks up to the bar. He says to the bartender, "I don't understand why nobody will dance with me. I'm a fungi." I'm a fungi. Okay, I like that one, actually. I messed it up a little bit. Fungi. Do you say fungi or fungi? It's actually fungi, right? Fungi. When I was in school, when I was a kid, that we would say, okay, it's actually supposed to be algae and fungi. And other people would say, no, it's algae and fungi. So some people say fungi, some people say fungi. Oh, but I like the joke. That's a good joke. That's a good joke. Who said that? It was a long joke. Beast on Gaming said that. Keep them coming. Keep Beast on Gaming. Keep them coming. You're bound to win something here. Ha ha ha. Those are all very thought-provoking, Barnstar says. And yes, they're becoming darker. Yeah, they are. Are you talking about the ones I gave you? Beast on Gaming says that one is a hit at parties. It just slow rolls everyone until eventually the amazing punchline comes and they don't know what hit them. I got to use that. I'm going to save that. I'm going to use that. Score Guy says a piece of string walks into a bar. Bartender says, hey, you caused trouble the other day. Get out of here. The string walks out, ties himself into a knot, and messes his hair up. He goes back inside. The bartender says, hey, aren't you that string from just before? The string replies, no, I'm afraid not. Yeah, I get it. That's funny. I like that. And Barnstar says it's actually fungi, but we all know it as fungi. And Barnstar says, Beast has points in my book. I think we're going to let everybody vote on who has the best jokes, right? I have a few more for you. Let me check if anybody else has any more anywhere here. Joanne, you got a dad joke? Certainly you have. Do you have an aunt joke? Do you have an aunt joke? Auntie Joanne, do you have an aunt joke? That could be fun too. Let me see. I've got a few more here. Okay. I don't have any more bar jokes. Have you heard the story about the runaway horse? It's a terrible tale of woe. What's the hardest thing about learning to ride a horse? The ground. And and this is you know what? I did tell this one. I told this one to Glenn after the show. We were talking after his interview, and I did tell this one to Glenn. What sickness do cowboys get from riding wild horses? Bronchitis. Or bronchitis. You can say it either way. It's okay. Okay, so I've got some wine jokes, all right? I've got some wine jokes. What did the grape say when the elephant stood on it? Nothing. It just let out a little wine. You got to think for a second, but it's actually kind of funny. I like that. My buddy, here's the thing, though. My buddy the other day, my buddy trained his dog to bring him a glass of red wine. I thought that was pretty amazing, actually. I really thought that was cool. And I asked him what kind of dog it was. He said it's a Bordeaux Collie. All right, so everybody knows that, I'm going to have the wine jokes because I'm a wine enthusiast. I'm not a sommelier. I told everybody that. I'm not a sommelier, but I am a wine enthusiast. The more wine I drink, the more enthusiastic I get. This has 15 point. It's got a lot of alcohol in it. I got to slow that down. I was having wine with my wife the other night. She only drinks wine, white wine. She doesn't drink red wines too much, but she does like white wine. She actually likes the Zinfandel Blanc, the white Zinfandel Blanc. And I was having wine with my lovely wife Chi the other night, and she goes, "I love you so much, I don't know how I could ever live without you." That really touched me, and I said, but then I'm looking at she's drinking the wine, so I'm saying, is that you or the wine talking? And she said, it's me talking to the wine. Fair enough. I say, love the wine you with. Love the wine you're with. That's what I say. By the way, what do you call a wine hangover? The Grape Depression. The Grape Depression. Yeah, okay. Enough of that, right? All right, let's go back because we have some more jokes here from everyone in the chat. Did I miss one? Okay. Okay. Beast on Gaming says, I'm working on my next one. I have a big book of jokes, but most of them suck. Most of mine do too. I can't hear everybody laughing or groaning, but I'm sure there are probably more groans than laughter in those. But that's what this is about. It's dad jokes, right? Bad jokes, dad jokes. It's all the same thing, right? Beast on Gaming says, did you hear about that guy who had his entire left side cut off? Don't worry, he's all right now. Okay, I think I've heard that one, but it's still pretty funny. I like that. Look, I love dad jokes, and I love puns, and I love wordplay. So it's you know, it's all good. Beast on Gaming says, I have this really long book of jokes, but only 1 in 100 are actually decent. There is a whole section dedicated to cannibalism-related jokes. Well, let's not do that. Got to keep that clean. That square guy says, cannibalism jokes, aren't those a bit self-indulgent? Okay, you guys were tag teaming me here, weren't you? You guys were tag teaming. Let me read that again. Okay, yeah, I think you're tag teaming me here. Beast on Gaming says, I have this really long book of jokes, but only 1 in 100 are actually decent. There is a whole section dedicated to cannibalism-related jokes. And the square guy says, cannibalism jokes, aren't those a bit self-indulgent? You know how hard it is to send a dad joke book to Australia? I think he wins by default. Yeah, I think you pretty much win that by default. I don't know. There's another $20. Because that's how much it costs to ship anything to Australia. Beast on Gaming says a grizzly bear runs into a bar at speeds of up to 35 miles per hour, of course. The bear tells the bartender, I'll have a gin and tonic. The bartender asks, what's with the long pause? Okay, I got to read this again, okay, because I messed that up. I don't mean to mess it up, folks. I really don't. Beast on Gaming says, a grizzly bear runs into a bar at speeds of up to 35 miles per hour, of course. The bear tells the bartender, I'll have a gin and a tonic. The bartender asks, what's with the long pause? And the bear replies, I don't know. My dad had them too. I'll give you that one. Okay, that's kind of funny. I almost messed it up on you, but that's pretty funny. Barnstar says the ABV for your wine is over 15%. Holy fluffy bunny slippers. That's a lot. Yeah, it is. It's 15% on the label, but like I said, we've had this discussion many times before, and they post the base of what the alcohol content is, but they don't. But the actual alcohol content can be considerably higher than that, and it could be, wow, if it's 15%, it could be 16.5%, could be 17%. But they're not really required to post accurate alcohol content in these wines. They're required to post an alcohol content in this wine, so like a minimum alcohol content. So what you're going to get is you're going to get 15% on the bottle. It could be 17, it could be 18%. For all you know, it could be 90 proof. I don't know. I don't think so, but it's it's higher, and I can taste the alcohol on the wine, which I like the wine. The wine itself is actually pretty good. I just don't like the alcohol taste in the wine. And once again, this is what we're drinking. Casa Castillo, and it is a popular wine. And a lot of people like this. 3.8 on Vivino. This thing gets, I think, something like 91 points. It gets 91 points according to the point system, the wine point system by Robert Parker. And Robert Parker invented this 100 1 to 100 point system. And if it's below a certain number, I think if it's below 50%, it's not even drinkable. If it's below that, it's not even drinkable wine. Above that, it gets, it kind of goes up the scale. Once again, we've talked about that. We've done that on the show in the past. Right offhand, I don't remember which one. I think this 15% alcohol is starting to kick in a little bit, so I'm going to break from that a little bit. I'm being honest, folks. What you see is what you get. Let's see. Proper Barnstar says, Beast on Gaming, ha ha ha, dude, is that where the grizzly bear first came from? And Beast on Gaming says, no, I just mentioned how fast grizzly bears run a lot, so I just decided I include that in the joke. Well, it's good. It kind of throws you off a little bit. It does when you put in the statistics there, that the little details kind of throws you off. The Square Guy says the speed of the bear was a red herring, or should I say a pink salmon? Nah, I'm sorry. I love you, man, but you got to try a little bit harder than that. Pink herring or red herring or pink salmon. Okay, I know what you're trying to do there. Beast on Gaming says someone stole all the toilet seats from the police station. The police have nothing to go on. Okay, I really like that joke. I don't know why. Maybe it's the wine, but I don't know why. But I really like that joke. Someone stole all the toilet seats from the police station. The police have nothing to go on. I really enjoyed that. Okay, boy, that I almost think that wins right there by default. I think that wins by default. Barnstar says, really, it's that FDA false advertising or something like that. I'm not sure. Barnstar says, gonna look that one up on Vivino to see what users say. Oh, yeah. Users, people like this wine. They really do. It has a 3.8 rating, over 700 ratings, and people really, really like this wine. And I'm guessing that the main reason they really like this wine is because by the time they get about 2/3 into the bottle, at 15% or plus alcohol, what's not to like? And that's not a dad joke. I just made that up. Beast on Gaming says, what is black and white and red all over? Oh, gross. Should I say this? What is black and white and red all over? A badger in a blender. Man, that's horrible. You keep up and you're going to lose that win. That's awful. Beast on Gaming says, want to hear a joke about a dull pencil? Never mind, it's pointless. Okay. Barnstar says, that was a sneaker. Yeah, it was. All right, let me check Facebook. I don't know if anybody's on Facebook. I think, it's funny. It's like any other night on Facebook, I get everybody saying, oh, well, yeah, you're going to do a dad joke night. Oh, you win this or that. Do a dad joke night. And well, yeah, I'm going to do a dad joke night here the next week. And then nobody shows up the next week for that. I don't know. Barnstar says 2/3 of the way through a 15% bottle and everybody's happy. I know I'm happy. Oh, I'm feeling pretty good. No, it's I'm done for now. Okay, where were we? Okay, it's 11:46 p.m. according to my Microsoft clock, and I think it's probably time to close this up. Pretty much, I don't want to go 2 full hours on this because I've been doing that, and although we did start a little late because I was having a few issues here, but and everybody can still hear me okay. That's good. And it's dead everywhere else. It looks like Twitch is where it's happening. Well, let me tell you something about Twitch for just a moment, just to reiterate this a little bit. And I don't want to harp on it too much, but and I know there are folks that watch me on Twitch, and they're saying, you've qualified. Yes, I have. I've qualified for an affiliate a long time ago, and you could be one. You can make some money doing this, and trying to find a way to monetize this because, to be honest, this is costing me some money. It really is. I mean, doing giveaways, that's one thing, but And the wines, and of course they cost, but that's part of the deal. But the other things, the other costs, like I'm building a new PC, and it's not just for the wine stream, of course. It's basically because I'm going to be doing some things with DaVinci Resolve and working on my films, and then do my day job. But in my day job, I do a lot of video production and things like that. We're starting to do a little other independent production work here in the studio, and I need that PC. I really do need it. And I invested quite a bit, and my boss even contributed something to help me along with it. So I've got a lot of stake here to build this new computer, and it is going to help the wine stream because it's going to give me the ability to get off the really, really old machine and do a lot of things that I've wanted to do for a long time for the wine stream, to bring you a better quality stream every week, and to improve on the podcast as well. The thing is, there's a lot of costs involved, and I've thought about doing a Patreon. I've thought about doing this and that and everything else, and I've looked at monetization of this in certain ways. And as you know, all of the things that I promoted in the past, now I promote doing things on the Amazon, like buying the Amazon products and things like that, and buy two-way radios, which, by the way, I'm going to do something like that in another couple of minutes here for a few moments. But none of that's making me any money. I'm just doing it. It's not, none of it is really making me any money. I'm just basically spending the money, but I'm not getting any return for it. And it would be nice. I'd love to monetize this in some way. Now, of course, the only real way to do that at this point is to go ahead and become a Twitch affiliate. But I've resisted doing that, and I continue to resist doing that for a couple of reasons. Because when I looked at it, it sounded great. Be a Twitch affiliate. I qualified right away. But when I read the contract, when I read the agreement and everything, I realized that this is actually a very bad deal. It's a very bad deal for the streamers. And this is no way disparaging anyone, for those of you who do stream on Twitch and who are affiliates or maybe partners. This is no way disparaging you at all. This is just my personal choice. But I absolutely, after reading through everything carefully, I believe that Twitch definitely does not have my best interests at stake, and they definitely, it's very one-sided towards Twitch and towards Amazon. And I understand that. They're running a business, but it goes a little overboard in some respects. Where they really lock you in. They really lock you in. Now, I've watched, for those of you who are Twitch streamers and know what I'm talking about. Those of you who aren't, bear with me. But I've watched other videos on YouTube to kind of sort of help me say, okay, am I just doing this? Is just me, or do other people have a problem with this? And other people do. I'm not the only one. There have been other people that have posted YouTube videos and whatnot discussing why you should not be a Twitch affiliate. And of course, one of those is Devin Nash, who's, and whether you like Devin Nash or you don't like him, he does, what he's saying is pretty much true. It's because I've read the agreement, and I have the same concerns that this is very, very skewed, very one-sided towards Amazon and Twitch, and because here it is, I'm multi-stream. If Twitch was the only thing I was doing, that would be one thing. But because I multi-stream on Facebook and YouTube and Twitter, and I want to multi-stream on other platforms as they come along, and because I do the podcasts and things like that, becoming a Twitch affiliate is very, very limiting. And locks me into Twitch. Now, what happens if something happens and Twitch decides, oh, I'm violating agreement, or they don't like something I'm doing or whatever? I don't know why, but because I'm pretty docile in that respect. But if they decided that, and they could cut me off immediately, and I'd lose everything. And you never want to put all your eggs in one basket. So And then that's not the only thing. And the main thing is the main problem I have is that they want to lock you into just streaming on Twitch alone during the first 24 hours. And you can't multi-stream anywhere else. It's too proprietary for me. I can't do that because I would be instantly losing half my audience by doing that. I can't in all consciousness. I can't do that. So for those reasons, I'm out for being an affiliate to Twitch. So that leaves me very, very few options for monetizing at this point. So I don't mean to go long on that. It's just that's just to let you know and to be honest, completely honest with you and up front. That's where I'm at. That's where I'm at. So it's a matter of principle for me for a lot of things. Also to protect my own brand, as this has become. But I don't mean to be down about that. Let's go back to the dad jokes, because I think everybody's posting dad jokes now. Let me go back here. Beast on Gaming says, how about if I quit while I'm ahead? Barnstar says 2/3 to the... Oh, yeah, I read that. Beast on Gaming says, oh, here's a good one. A waiter gives a man a cup of coffee. The man spits it out and says to the waiter, "Sir, this coffee tastes like dirt." The waiter seemed confused and replied, "But sir, it's fresh ground." Can I say that? Hold on, I'm going to say that to open up the new coffee one. That could be useful there. That could be useful. Ooh, that's bad, but it's funny. Barnstar says, Beast on Gaming, you're number one in my dad joke book tonight. Beast on Gaming says, I found that jokes with longer setups tend to be funnier. They can be. It depends on the delivery somewhat, but they can be, and this is why. The reason is because when you're on a longer setup like that, and you got to be careful because sometimes long setups can also ruin a joke. But on longer setups, if you do it just right, because they kind of disarm people. They get people into like you're going to tell them a story or something. And you get them into this, lull them into this false sense of, you're going in one direction where you're actually going to take them into some other direction and go, boom, And so long setups can be good. But once again, you have to be, it has to be done just right. Square Guy says, this isn't really a joke, but I read a cool article in the local news today that I wanted to mention. Oh, yeah, you read the news today. Oh, boy. It was about this, sorry. It was about this thing that happened at a town near here. Locals had been complaining that all the trucks were holding up traffic by going through town because it was quicker for them than taking the highway that was a bit out of the way. But the town decided to make it so trucks had to start taking the highway to free up the local traffic. Now see, I can't say that would be a joke, but it's irony. That's what you call irony. Locals have been complaining about trucks holding up traffic by going through the town, but then the town decided to make sure trucks started taking the highway. Yeah, that's called irony. Squargus says, but the town had this sort of well-known murder of crows in the area that would hang out on the highway and eat the roadkill and stuff, but they found that suddenly all the crows were getting hit by traffic and becoming roadkill themselves. The crows are a sort of unofficial mascot for the town, so there was a lot of concern. They did some studies and they realized that the crows were highly intelligent. They had a communication system set up to keep them safe. They'd have a lookout who would be posted up the road near a meal while the rest of the group would feast on the roadkill. So whenever a car started to approach, the lookout would alert the others and they'd fly off without getting hit. But when they started sending the trucks out that way, the crows started dying. At first, they thought the trucks might have been speeding, but that wasn't what was going on. It turned out that the lookout crows had no problem shouting, "Car, car," but had no way of yelling, "Truck." Oh, my. goodness. I think it's time to put away the wine now. It's past time. Okay. You got me. You got me on that. You got me. Barnstar says, wall of text. We're on for 10 more minutes, people. Beast on Gaming says, buckle up your seatbelts. This is going to be a long one. A man asks a woman to go to a dance. She agrees, and she decides to rent a suit. The rental has a pretty long line, but he waits, and he eventually gets a suit. He then goes to a florist to buy flowers. There is also a long line there, so he waits in line for half an hour and gets some roses. He picks up the woman, and they wait in line for a while to get into the dance, but they eventually get in. The man offers to get the woman a drink. The woman requests punch, so the man goes to the refreshments table, but surprisingly, there's no punchline. There's no punchline. And that was the punchline, yeah. Oh my goodness. We definitely have to do this again, don't we? Barnstar says, that square guy was too clever for your own good. And Barnstar says, Beast on Gaming, that was just cruel. Beast on Gaming, do I win yet? I think you won with the first one. I think you won with the first one. What does everybody else think? It's late. We got to close this up. Barnstar says, can we omit both Square Guy and Beast from the competition? Well, I thought we actually set the Square Guy up as a judge. What do you all think? Beast on Gaming. You think Beast on Gaming wins a book here? Let me check Facebook to see if anybody else. It's dead in Facebook. Nothing going on there. Nothing going on in YouTube at the moment. Okay. Last chance, Joanne. Do you have a dad joke for tonight? If not, I'll go ahead and award one. Let's see. What do you guys think? Do you think Square Guy says, nah, Beast on Gaming gets my vote. So you say Beast on Gaming wins the book. Where's the book? Here's the book. 500 plus dad jokes, fun, clean, corny, and just plain silly jokes, most of which we probably posted at some point or another tonight. No, I didn't get all mine out of here. Just a couple, but I didn't get all mine out of this book. Okay. I think we're going to award this. I'll tell you what, we're going to award this in just a moment. I'm going to announce the winner in just a moment. Before we do, I do want to do a quick shout out here to the folks at Buy Two Way Radios. Winter is here. We've already had a couple of storms. Get a weather radio. I have weather radios. I actually have a weather station outside, but the batteries are dead. I have to go out and replace the batteries on my weather station. But I have weather radios just in case. So I highly advise everybody to go to ready.gov. That's ready.gov. It's a government website. They have a list of everything that you need for disaster preparedness, weather disaster preparedness, including winter weather disasters. Get yourself a weather radio because it's high up on their list. A weather radio is. You can go to buytwowayradios.com. That's buy, B-U-Y, T-W-O-W-A-Y-R-A-D-I-O-S, buytwowayradios.com. If you use the promo code WINESHOW, that's W-I-N-E-S-H-O-W, use the promo code WINESHOW at checkout, you can save 5% off your order. Now, for full disclosure, I am the product manager for Buy Two Way Radios, but they don't pay me anymore for doing this. I'm just doing this because I like to be prepared, and I want you to be prepared as well. So saving 5% is actually very helpful in getting yourself prepared. So please be prepared. Get a weather radio at buytwowayradios.com, preferably. All right, so that out of the way, we're going to announce the winner of the second dad joke competition. Do I have a last minute? No, nothing last minute from Facebook or YouTube. So I guess we're going to go ahead and win it. I think it's pretty obvious. Tom Antio's in the chat, by the way. Tom Antio, it's good to see you here. I'm glad you're here. He says, I've been reading each one. They're all pretty good, but got to say Beast on Gaming has been nonstop with the jokes. Beast on Gaming says, how will you give that to me? I have no clue how this really usually works, how this stuff usually works. Well, this is how it works. Beast on Gaming is very simple, actually. And I will say that Beast on Gaming, I think it's pretty much unanimous. Beast on Gaming wins the 500 plus dad joke book. And I think you'll enjoy it because you not only get the dad joke book, but I also send, as everyone else who's won something here in the past will attest to, you also send the official Drink with Rick coaster and an official, I don't have one on, oh yeah, I do. I have a picture of it here. Hold on a second. Where is that? Where's my picture? The photos section. An official, that's the burger. Where is it? I know I've got one here somewhere. Oh yeah, wait a minute. It's right here. Okay, I've got one more thing I sent along with it. Does anybody know? Can anybody tell me? Anybody else tell Beast on Gaming what else comes with that package? Here it is. You win official Drink with Rick button. There you go. I knew I had that picture somewhere around here. Official Drink with Rick pin back button. You get that. So it's part of the package. So it's not just the book, but you get the coaster and the button. How about that? Pretty cool, huh? That Square Guy says, our unanimous champ. Fancy being out my crow joke. That's right. But Beast on Gaming, you win. So this is how it works. What you do is, what I want you to do is, I want you to private message me. You can do it on Twitch. You can do it here on Twitch. Private message me. Just send me or give me a shipping address I can send it to. It can be P.O. box. It's okay. Private shipping address. Trust me, no salesman will call. I'm not a salesman, and I'm not going to call you. Okay. But if you're not comfortable with that, you can always send it to rick@savoyamedia.com, rick@savoyamedia.com. That is my email address, and it comes directly to me. So you can send it. You can either private message me on Twitch or send it to me at my email address, and I'll make sure that you get it. Okay? Having said that, I think it's probably time to close up the stream. It's getting pretty late. I think that's all I got tonight, right? If there is, it's too late now. Okay. The summary on this wine. What we're drinking is we were drinking this Casa Castillo. It's a 2017 Monastrell or Mourvedre wine. It is 15% alcohol by volume, as I can personally attest to. And I'll go no further than that. Cherry, notes of cherry and blackberry, excuse me, and a little leathery as it's opened up. A little leathery taste. It's actually not bad. It's a pretty good tasting wine. It has a nice finish to it, but I will say that it's a little high in the alcohol content. 15. It's they say 50%, but I think it's higher than that. And I will say I think the alcohol taste in this wine that I tasted kind of offset some of the tastes, some of the other flavors in the wine. So it was very difficult for me to pick out some other things, although I did pick out a hint of strawberry, and I think I got a little bit of, there's a little smokiness to it, but fair amount of tannin. It's a little acidic. It's not overly acidic, but it's a little acidic, but just enough to really, with the tannin and acidity and everything, to really make I tried it with these things, hamburger, and it really made this beef summer sausage pop, really. It really worked well. And, of course, the cheeses. It went well with the cheddar and the Trader Joe's creamy Gouda. So I like the wine, and I can see why it's very popular. It's just that you got to be careful with this wine. I would say don't really drink it alone. Drink it with some family, friends. Drink it with a meal. I wouldn't say drink it by itself unless you really want to like that high alcohol content. I would say have it with a good meal. and just drink it sparingly, drink it responsibly. That's what I can say. But it's okay. It's okay. It's not a bad wine. That's what I'll say. So that's my final review on it. Let's go back to the chats one more time before we go. Facebook is quiet, I think. Yes, it's very quiet, unless I missed something here. Facebook is quiet. Quiet on YouTube. And Twitch is where all the action is. That Square Guy says, runner-up, you could get the Edgar Allan Poe Joke Award of the Year. Yeah, I could. Yeah, actually pretty good, Square. That's pretty good. He says, I graciously accept my token award. Proper Barnstar. All right, well, everyone, thanks for joining me again. I want to thank you for being here with me tonight. I want to thank Joanne for being here with me in the chat. I want to thank everybody else here on Twitch, as a matter of fact. And I have a list of people here. I have to go up the list. Proper Barnstar, that Square Guy, and CM Cinder, Beast on Gaming, of course. And who else here? Scott MTHW. Got kind of quiet there after a while. I thought you were going to throw in some dad jokes. And Scott MT, cheap wine like Sutter Home Merlot with a Coors Light or Budweiser. Okay, so that's what he was mixing. That's what he was mixing. A cheap wine like Sutter Home Merlot with a Coors Light or Budweiser. Wow. Sutter Home, yeah, I have my Sutter Home wines over there in the little bottles. I'll drink them if I have to, but I'm not really crazy about them. I would choose something else first, but if I'm a hotel or something and that's all they've got, which is what they usually have when you're staying in a hotel, then I'll drink the Sutter Home. Not my first choice, though. Who else here was here? I think, did I miss somebody here? Anybody lurking in the chat that didn't show up? I know there are folks that lurk around and they just watch, but I really would like to say thank you for watching me. I didn't see you in the chat, but I want to say thank you for watching me because I really, really appreciate you being here. Even if you weren't in the chat or actively participating, you're just watching. That's cool too. And I know Lynn Marley, I know she watches sometimes, and sometimes I see her pop out at the chat afterwards. And Lynn Marley, I want to say thank you for being here because I really do appreciate you being here as well if you're here. But if you're here and we're watching, hey, give us a shout out, please. And a toast to Lynn Marley, by the way, whether she's here or not. Thank you. I do appreciate each and every one of you. Because without you, there really is no show. It's just me talking to myself, and I don't want to do that. I do that enough as it is. Where's my wife sometimes? And the kids. The dog doesn't care. He doesn't. He figures I'm talking to him. I don't know. But I thank you for being here with me. Next week, I don't know what we're going to open. Well, yeah, I kind of do. I think we're going to open this French wine. I think we're going to do a French wine next week. That's La Paria. That should be interesting. But in the meantime, I want to thank you for being here with me in the chat tonight. I want to thank you for watching me. If you're watching me later also. I also want to thank you for listening in. If you're listening in on the podcast, on the show, I really do appreciate each and every one of you. I want to ask you, though, to please be careful, especially if you're drinking higher content alcohol. Be careful in these difficult times, too. COVID's still out there. A lot of bad stuff's still out there. Please do not drink and drive because that's something that I do frown upon. I don't do it myself, and I don't suggest you do it either. Please do not drink and drive. Drink in the comfort of your home, your apartment, your whatever your dwelling is, hotel room, whatever it is. Call an Uber, call a Lyft, call a friend to come get you if you have to, but otherwise stay put. Do not drink and drive. Please do not text drive because that is also something I definitely frown upon. Because I want you to have a safe week. And I want you to have a great week. But most of all, I want you to have a safe week. So you can all join me here again next week on the Saturday Night Wine Stream. And we can all get together and drink with Rick. Good night.